Hey everyone, thanks for checking out my video on how to S+ all chapters in Resident Evil 4. This includes all 4 main difficulties, so as of the time of this recording, it is going to be Assisted, Standard, Hardcore, and Professional. Let's go ahead and start a new game. Again, the strategy is going to be the same, it's just going to be tweaked here and there. So we're going to do Professional, but if you're watching because you want to have an idea of what to do for Hardcore or Standard for those 2 trophies, then you would still follow most of this, just tweak it here and there. I'm also going to be skipping cutscenes just because this is mostly focused on the gameplay aspect of it, not the story, so you don't have to really worry about significant story spoilers. When it comes to saving on Professional, and only Professional because everybody else doesn't have this restriction, every other mode doesn't have this restriction, you want to do maximum of 1 per chapter because you're only allowed 15 to get ES+. If you personally feel confident in chapter 1, you can just not save on this chapter and just distribute your saves between chapter 2 to 15. I consider chapter 16 free, so I wouldn't save there ever. Like that's the easiest chapter in the game. So I definitely suggest that if you feel confident in chapter 1, you don't save here either. It took me quite a handful of tries to get chapter 1 down because of the strategy involving 2 grenades on this chapter is a little tricky to pull off if you've never done it before. So here, let me shut up a bit because this is where things get a little bit more complicated. So this guy here, you can dodge him 2 ways: back up like that, or stand on the corner, wait for him to try to grab you first time, and then dodge him. Up to you, really. This guy here, I tend to sneak past him so that I can grab this herb. You can run it for sure, but he almost always throws an axe on Professional. Lower difficulties, he ignores you. He doesn't even care about you. And again, this isn't about setting world records or fastest time overall. We just want to make sure we get good times. We want to shoot that crow just for the 3 items. We just want to get good times so that we can get the S+ rank. Okay, so this is where professional players have a choice if they want to save or not. If you don't feel confident in the village, save, because we'll have plenty of saves overall. But if you do feel confident, then just ignore it. These 2 crows, you can try to hit them. Don't really matter if you hit them or not. Just try, just to get some extra items. For this next part, we want to get this chest here. And then after this chest, we're going to ignore these 3 enemies. If you've never done this on Professional, they're very aggressive. And only on Professional. So you got to make sure that you just keep running. For the guy in here, make a hard left. And if he swings at you like that, you're golden. If he doesn't swing, keep running towards the back until he tries to swing at where you were. Because if you make a hard left, he doesn't swing. If he delays his swing, because he does that, it will hit you if you make a hard left instead of going further back into the room. So here's where the fun begins. As soon as you enter here, run hard left. Don't even worry about sneaking, just run. Take this lady out. Give her a hug, I guess. And then pick the item up. Run to that red herb. Pick it up. If you get caught, it's fine. We want to get caught sooner or later.
Here we go.
Just take a few shots. Once Leon says, "Here we go," jump in here, get this grenade. Toss 1 grenade in here. Take out as many as you possibly can. Doesn't matter if you don't take everybody out. You just want to clear a path. Then run in here. Skip that. Run upstairs. Get the shotgun and the 2nd grenade. Usually I run to this ladder with the shotgun out, because it's almost guaranteed that that person is going to reach up top on Professional. Every other difficulty, they may or may not. Toss another grenade here. And this is where things get a little tricky. try not to get grabbed because you will die if you get grabbed. So here, clearly I died, but you do not want. And again, that's only a thing on professional. Since I died here, I'm gonna quit the game entirely, and this only affects professional. If you die on professional, or if you load a save in professional, just quit the game and then load at that point. For whatever reason, and I don't know if this is a bug or if this is a intended feature, but if you load in professional and it's in the same chapter that you're loading, your in-game timer keeps ticking. I don't know why that is, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because, like I said, if you quit to the main menu then load back in, it's going to be it's going to continue the clock based on where you left off. Normally, the only way for that to happen on hardcore lore is for you to load an autosave after you died. So if you're playing hardcore or lore and you do die, don't load your autosave. Just load a manual save you have there. Or if you do want to load the autosave, just quit to the main menu, then load it. I don't know why it's designed that way. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So at this point, I'm just going to skip the footage forward back to the beginning of the village. Okay, now that I'm almost back to the village, I forgot to mention that when it comes to some of the charms that we can use in the game, or briefcases, I'm not going to use any simply because if it's not automatically available to unlock in-game, simply because it may make certain players not have the same advantage as others would. Because when I was running back here, I noticed that I had the base briefcase, which is fine. This is what I wanted. But I just wanted to make note of that. Okay, so back here, the strategy is take this person out. And yeah, I should have mentioned earlier that when it comes to the village section, and it's only this part of the game for whatever reason, you want to make sure that you do not get grabbed if the chainsaw guy is running around full speed. Simply because if anyone grabs you and he's nearby, you can't escape. It's just programmed to automatically grab you. Sometimes you can get another grenade from that grenade drop, and if you do, this segment becomes very, very easy. It's not a guarantee, so if you have one, that's great. If not, that's fine. We only want to rely on 2 anyway. So let me take this person out again. You just want to shoot them off and not hit the ladder, so that when... Okay, so that segment's done. So he follows you pretty fast. When it comes to shooting the shotgun, you want to make sure that you shoot it when the enemies are clumped right in front of the shotgun. Otherwise, you risk them just not. Okay, we're almost done here. When it comes to breaking out, I tend to not use the knife unless it's absolutely necessary. There it is. We're done. Done with the village. Now, when it comes to looting this area, what I recommend is you only loot the areas that you're not going to come back to. Or at the very least, that there's no chance that you're not going to come back to it. So for example, this house here, you could probably come back here later on. Whoops. So I would recommend you loot it now. It gets a little harder later on because of the amount of enemies. But I definitely recommend you loot it. Alright. Plenty of pistol ammo. Oh, and for the record, if you don't have the extended map, these items here won't appear. So they're specific to the DLC where you get the extended map. And those items are the ones I'm gonna avoid simply because I don't know how many people would have them, how many won't. I do recommend you get this green air because this tower, you really won't come back here at all. Let me get the items back here. The items inside this hut, honestly, it's hard to say if you should pick them up or not. I recommend you do, because I don't actually come back here at all. I forgot to spawn this guy. He will always spawn here, no matter what. So what I tend to do is, if he hasn't been spawned yet, I force him to spawn before the bell rings. That way when it rings, he disappears with everybody. Otherwise, he's going to roam around here. When it comes to those ladders that I just skipped, I suggest you leave them alone. We're going to make sure that they're available for later. Because unfortunately, Ashley is going to be the reason this professional run is insanely difficult. In fact, she makes every run difficult. And it's nothing against Ashley as a character. It's just that the way the game's designed, the enemies like vacuum towards her and they instantly pick her up with no animation. I think he's right behind me. Yeah. So when it comes to entering new zones, like this door here, you're gonna see, actually, I'm playing on professional, but normally you would hit an auto save zone, and it would show on the top left corner of the screen. When you enter a new zone like that, enemies stop chasing you. So you can definitely use it to reset enemies when you're entering a new area. But when you come here, take this guy out. You don't need to, but we want the treasure and we want to get the medallions. On all difficulties, for the exception of assisted, you want to get as much money as possible. So there's always going to be a grenade in that barrel there. That's a guaranteed grenade. So you should always have at least one grenade here. Now, when it comes to this shortcut here, and you're probably aware of it if you've seen any like current videos on YouTube of skips, I recommend you take that shortcut only if you have assisted difficulty on, because you want to save as much time as possible. But you basically just aim right around here, and that door's open. But only on assisted. Everybody else, go the long way, because we want to get the treasures and the emblems. Okay, so when it comes to this trap, do not disable the wire. Just go under it, because we're going to use it to take out the bullhead. If he goes on that trap, sets it off, and then he I'm getting a brain fart here. He gets staggered, then you stab him one time and you shoot him one time with the shotgun, he will go down. So that's free money that we want there. Okay, so get the last medallion here. Shooting that medallion also triggers the pitchfork ganado right above us. So we want her to come down so that the bullman knocks her out. Okay, so the way this one works is the moment you pick up the cog, the bullhead is going to spawn in. Or if you don't pick it up and just run too close to the door, he spawns in too. So the moment I pick it up, he's going to start coming in the door. But it's going to give us enough time to break the barrel next to the door and get the drawer next to him. Okay, so rush here, knife it, pick that up, open this, pick that up, and now climb. She didn't get triggered, so this is going to be a little bit risky. I didn't pick that up. Okay, so now you want to run with the shotgun out. He's right behind me, so generally you don't want that happening, because what he does is that once he gets within a certain range of you, he tries a spin attack. And once he misses that, he has kind of a long recovery animation, so it slows this down. So you definitely don't want him to do that. So what I recommend is you get close to this door, aim at it with the shotgun, just in case they break into the back. Once he does that, he gets staggered, stab him, and then shoot him one time. You must always shoot him one time on professional. Now he's down. Oh, oof. That was risky. Oh, come on. I didn't mention this, but when it comes to your hotkeys, always change them to something that you feel comfortable with. I have a very specific way I like my items. It's actually just like that. So pistol up top, shotgun to the left, grenade bottom, flash to the right. You don't have to follow that if you don't like that. You can definitely, so those barrels there, only pick them up if you have the room and the time. Otherwise, these guys will hit you. I'm just gonna leave them. Back to what I was saying. For your hotkeys, definitely put something that you're comfortable with and just go with that. Something you've already practiced and you're familiar with, so you don't have to leave the default ones or the ones that I'm using. She might hit me. Nope. Okay, so we're almost done with this chapter. We're just gonna get a few more pieces of loot and then run out of here. I don't recommend spending too long on this level, because if we pause right now, we're at 12 minutes and 20 seconds. It's okay time. It's not great. It's not bad. I definitely recommend that you beat it as fast as possible, because this really pretty much determines how the rest of your run's gonna go. Oh, I messed up. There we go. Make sure you don't miss either the shot or the stab on that door. Otherwise, bad things happen. You can either disable it like that or just shoot it. Up to you. Now this guy here, you can take him out if you want to. He's kind of, you know, just there. Because if you open the door, he won't do anything to you. And then you have enough iframes and time to just jump down after he pushes you. So it's really up to you what you want to do here. See? But yeah, this is chapter 1 done. And even though I died, I still did good time. Ultimately, how you end up saving on this chapter, it really depends on how comfortable you feel with everything overall. If you don't think you're going to be able to do the grenade strategy, essentially the way I did it, which is just get as many as you can with the 2 grenades and then finish the rest off with the shotgun. I definitely recommend you save on the first typewriter and just practice it. I know we only have 15 saves, but believe it or not, it's plenty of saves. And there's going to be certain areas where you can kind of get free saves if you don't want to, if you don't feel comfortable with that segment. So I recommend that after you finish chapter 1 though, you do save. Even if you saved in the beginning of chapter 1. The reason for that is because there's going to be a, here, let me get rid of this menu. The reason for that is because there's going to be a easy to fail section at the beginning of chapter 2. So just having this beginning of chapter 2 save is going to be a good backup just in case. So in my situation, I do recommend you save. And it'll be the first out of 15. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I'll see you on the next episode. If you found this video helpful, then consider giving it a like as it really helps out my channel. Thanks for watching and have a great day.